welcome to my video today. I'm going to dedicate this video to Tony, who can't be with us today because he broke his foot last time he was on this permission with me. Unfortunately his foot slipped off his spade and broke one of the bones in his foot. Quite a substantial break as well, so hope you get well soon, Tony. But as you can see, a lovely blue sky, no clouds in the sky today, so I thought, well, I'd come up here and I'll do a bit of detecting where you left off last time. I've just walked from that farm that's over there, about 10-minute trek up to the back end of his land, and what I'm going to try and detect on today is sort of towards this hill area and this grass edge that runs along the field, runs all the way around. All told, we've got about 100 acres on this site, and so far we've only really had finds dating back sort of to about 1850 or so. We find a lot of buttons on these fields because of in the Second World War, when they used to fertilise the fields with cloth, shoddy they call it. You get a lot of buttons for the material. We've had a few coins, again dated sort of, I think, well, the earliest ones are about 1850. But last time we came, this is the first time we've been up to this area, and I started from those two trees. There's an ash and a oak tree there, and I was working my way up that hill, and I happened upon something that at the time looked quite gotty, but give it a clean up and I could see that it was some sort of key end. And after a bit of research, it turns out it's actually a medieval casket key, dated from anywhere from sort of 11th century to 14th, 15th century. So I'm going to try and do somewhere around this area. It's really wet today. I've had a lot of rain in the last 24 hours, so all the grass is quite long, and the fields are very wet, so I doubt whether I'll be able to get onto the winter wheat which you see in front of me now. It was hard going last time we came. We've got another week's worth of growth, and as I say, the fields are really wet, so I should do a bit of a hunt up this strip and follow that hedge line round, and the field then dog legs, and I shall follow around there. So as soon as I get my first find, I'll give you a shout. Oh, and today I'm using my metal detector, which is a white Spectrum XLT, quite a good machine. I've got a custom program which I've called Yorkshire Fields, which is pretty good for getting decent depth around here, especially after some rain to get some good depth. I use it with headphones, so it's a bit easier to hear the smaller signals. But right, we'll start the hunt, and I'll get back to you as soon as we get the first find. Well, I've been detecting now for over 2 hours. I've not shown you any finds as yet because, to be honest, they've all been pretty rubbish. I've just had like a couple of washers and a couple of tin cans, that's all. I followed the track that Tony took last time he detected on this land, but I don't think he's been this far around. Anyway, I had quite a strong signal. I changed quite a few settings on my Spectrum. I turned the discrimination down a little bit because it was nulling out too much. I turned the threshold completely off, so I'm running pretty much in silent. Anyway, I had a signal. It's still showing on the screen there. I don't know if you can see. A plus 93 in both directions. So I thought, well, I'll give it a dig. And I don't know if you can see. I can't remember where it was that I saw it. Don't know. There, just down there in the side of the hole. It is silver. What's that then? Bear with me a second. Oh, I don't recognise that. Who's that? Don't believe that. It's a George That's the George III, isn't it? Let's have a look. Bear with me, I'm just going to give it a wipe. I haven't got me proper gloves. Is that George? Yeah, it's George III. What date's that then? 8. Oh, I can't see it. No, 18. Is that 16? Let me just give it a wipe on my. Do you know that's superb, that one? My screen's really bad on my phone, so it is 1816 George III silver. And do you know that's my first George III from anywhere? I've never had a George III before. What is it anyway? I'm not very good at identifying silver because I don't get that many. I've had odd half crown and that. I've got no idea what that is. No idea. Well, I'm going to clean it up. There's a picture of it, and I have no idea what denomination that is. Just thought I'd give you an update. The last video you saw, I'd found that George III 1816, whatever it is, but yet to identify. But anyway, that was there, where you see that patch of earth there, and following in Jed's footsteps, I did about 4 meters all the way around from the hole, just to make sure that it wasn't part of a coin spill, and went up and down, and I thought, no, nothing here. So I carried on down the field there, and then I was just working my way back up, about 1.5 meters away from this hedge line, and I got a signal, and it came up at about a 76 one way, but an 87, 88 the other way. So, and I thought, well, that's where I found that silver. I'll dig it anyway. And lo and behold, on the top of the soil there, it's only another George III. I've not cleaned it off yet, so I don't know what coin it is. And would you believe it's the same year as well? It's the George. I don't know if you can see that, George III, 1816. Bear with me. And this one is another. I'm not very good with my silvers. Let's have a look. Well, it's the same. It's another strange one with no. Can't seem to see any marks on that. I'm going to clean it up for a minute on my glove, because I think I'm rubbing dirt in it and I don't want to damage it. So I'm going to clean it up, and we'll reshoot from there. Okay. Well, I've cleaned it up, but to be honest, I still no wiser as to what it is. It's definitely an 1816. I'll just get that shadow out of the way. How did I manage to get in the shadow? It's yeah, 1816, but it's exactly the same pattern. Which way up is it? Exactly the same pattern as the other one, and it still doesn't say what denomination it is. So whatever I thought the other one was, this one's the same but smaller. It's probably about, it's just a bit bigger than, say, like the old 5p pieces. You know, like sort of 1980s, 70s and 80s 5p. So I'm sure you'll all tell me what it is, but I'll find out anyway. As soon as I get home, I'll be looking it up and see what it is. So I'm going to go over this area again, because if I missed it when I thought I was trying to clean this area up and missed it, then I'll probably miss another one. So I better have another look around. It's a very nice coin. my second ever bit of George III. Come on, Jed, I'll be catching up with you soon. Look at that, you beauty. I bet that'll clean up lovely and all. Okay, see you at the next. Well, where my spade is, I have another signal that's very similar to the signal I had for the other silvers, which are, one's just there and the other one's just a little bit further back, so probably 10 feet away from me. And I've got another signal. And I've never tried a live dig because I've got a camera in one hand and I'm attached to, cabled up with headphones on the detector. So you'll have to bear with me, it might not work out very good this. And I've got to be careful because if it is a silver, I don't want to damage it. Let's have a look, see if I've got a signal. Well, I've still got a high signal, but not very accurate on my pinpointing. I haven't got a pro pointer yet. Ah, there you go. You can see it at the side of the hole. I hope that's it. Oh, dropped it. There we go. And it's a coin. But really badly worn. I shall clean it up. I won't rub it too much with my fingers because this fine soil is just going to take off any detail. So I shall clean it up when I get home and let you know what it is. Hi everyone, I just thought I'd give you a roundup of my finds from Saturday's hunt, apart from that one at the end which I'll talk about in a moment. A very sparse hunt really, but then again I wasn't really trying to dig everything. I was only going for the higher numbers. I was really trying to focus on perhaps getting some more medieval there, and it's turned out to be one of the best small hunts I've ever had in terms of the quality of the items. Anyway, they're quite astounding. So I'll start off. We've got the first item there, which is a bit of junk. As you can see there, it's made of bronze, and I have no idea what it was used for, so I can't date that. This small item here, which again it's got like a square rivet end, but it's very bent, it's not very sort of round. I wouldn't say it was a bolt of any sort. There's no thread, so again unsure of that one. This little item here, which I believe could have been part of a button perhaps, but it looks actually a bit like a top of one of those cow tubes. It could be that, I'm not quite sure, but it came up as a good signal. It was on like the silver range. Now this is the reason I'm going to show you this is because this is what I had on the last hunt on our permission. Apart from being sort of bent at the end there, it is a medieval casket key, slightly broken off at the end, but if you have a look there, it's got a hole that goes right through, which is typical, and it's drilled rather than it's a poured piece of bronze. Still a nice find. It would have been nice if it would have had the complete end, which would have come it probably would have been sort of that length with a little circular piece at the end.
It's still a nice find. There you go, casket key, 11th to 15th century. So going back to what I got on Saturday. Now this coin here, I've tried to study it as much as I can, and I just cannot get a true ID. Although I've judged by size, and in some light I can see what looks like two silhouettes. It's hard to see it on this using this camera, but if that is the case, it looks like it could be William and Mary 3p dated 1689. I say that would take. Now we have medieval. You know, it's not going to surprise me whether we've got coins going back to that date now. The next coin, now this was quite intriguing because it's been bent in half. This is exactly how I found it, and it looks as though it's been punched, you know, like using a chisel or something, perhaps 2 or 3 times in that centre line. Again, I haven't been able to ID this. Now I think it's that way up, so if I put it down for a moment, I'll try and show you what I can see on it. It looks though just there could be like a lock of hair, perhaps the shoulder line, and a portrait facing left, but it doesn't correspond with anything that I've found on a coin database, but you can definitely see that there's something there, and there is a slight bit of lettering at the top, but I can't identify what those letters are. I'll just turn it around. And that was a strange thing that I noticed as well. As you can see there seems to be a series of thin lines. Now I haven't put those there. It looks as though they're almost like a thumbprint or something, but again, I looked on the coin databases and I can't see anything which shows lines on it like that, so it's just strange. On the inside, can't make out anything. I can't make out Britannia, no dates. I thought I could see the letter A just there, but again, not too sure. But for the size and the thickness, because it is quite a thick coin, I think it is a copper farthing, or especially one of the early copper farthings, which would have gone the same sort of date, sort of from I think sort of mid 1600s onwards, or 1670s onwards. Now I'll save the best till last. Under this piece of paper I had 2 silver coins, my first 2 bits of silver from that site, and astonishingly of all is my best bit of silver I've ever had. Look at these beauties. I'll show you some close-ups of the detail, but they're in incredible condition. They're an 1816 shilling, George III, and 1816 sixpence. So I'll pick them up. I'll show you this little head first. It's that shiny, it's probably going to struggle to focus. There, I'll get it at an angle so you can see it better. But that is one of the best condition silver coins I think I've ever seen. There you go, 1816. There's still a little bit of dirt in there, but brilliant. And the other side, there we go. And look at the detail that you can see. Don't know how close I can get it. I'll put it down, perhaps it'll be easier. There you go, look at detail on that. You can see all the original lustre, every single line. As I say, not only a beautiful coin, but it's the oldest silver I've ever found. The oldest find from that particular permission, and it's my first George III silver. And then probably more than 5 minutes, 10-15 minutes later, I got a shock because I got another one only about 3 foot away from the hole, from the original hole. Again, absolutely stunning condition. This one's actually better condition than the shilling. It is that shiny. It's hard for this little phone, my camera on this phone, to get good detail, but hopefully you can all see it there. And on the reverse side, on the bust, it's just a slight bit of wear on the head wear, on the feathers, but other than that, another stunning coin. I wonder if I can show you that way. There you go. I'll use my other lamp. Isn't she a beauty, eh? That's one of the best silver coins I think I've ever seen. Condition. And I'll just quickly show the shilling as well. Look at that. There's just a couple of little scratches or marks on his face, a little bit of edge damage there, but again, another beautiful coin. So they're definitely going in my collection. Look at that. That looks as though that's been dropped hardly any time at all after it came into circulation. So dead chuffed with them. So I'm definitely going to be visiting that site again as many times as I can this year. But so I think I'll wait for Tony to come up. Now he's in recovery with his broken foot. So I'll wait for Tony before I start to dig out all the silver. So there you go. I'll leave you with that. Look at that beauty.